for starting off our ceremony. Thank you all. I'm Paula Duncan, principal of Sheldon High School. I'm excited to have graduation here with the class of 2021. First, let me introduce to you some of the people who have helped make this all happen, who have supported us throughout preparation for our graduation ceremonies for Elk Grove District. So first I would like to introduce Mrs. Beth Albiani, Chair of the Board. Dr. Crystal Martinez-Allaire. Tony Perez. Representing our district as Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Ed, Mr. Craig Murray. I would ask our VPs to stand up. In time, I'm not going to introduce them all, but we have all our vice principals that have supported our students, distance and in person. If you would stand for a moment. On the side and on the stage. With that, it is my sincere privilege to introduce to you our Speaker at Large, Niniva Garcia.
Hello everyone. My name is Niniva Garcia, and I just want to say that if someone had come up to freshman me and told me that my entire senior year would have been taught online, I would have thought they were crazy. You think that I'm going to spend an entire year inside my house locked up? I don't think so. Senior year was supposed to be the pinnacle of our high school careers, right? I know that many of us feel robbed of the experience that senior year could have been. I know I do. And I think that for good reason. For many of us, senior year was our final opportunity to enjoy the last moments of childhood. It was the last chance for us to enjoy the company of our friends before we embarked on whatever our next adventure may be. All of this brings the realization that we will never be able to relive our senior year. Our class will forever be marked by 2020 and COVID. However, if there's anything that this pandemic has taught me, it is the importance of living in the moment and cherishing all of life's experiences. Pre-COVID, my life was incredibly hectic. And while I can genuinely say that at the time, I really enjoyed being involved in so many activities, like all things in life, it had its downfalls. I'm sure that this is many of you, Although I didn't realize it in the moment, many of my days were a blur, and I often found myself just preparing for whatever I had to do next. I'm sure that this is something that many of you can relate to, and if you don't, then I have a question for you. Do you remember what you did on March 6th last year? I know I don't. And if you don't, that was the last day that things were normal for all of us, and yet the majority of us don't remember what we did. But the wildest thing for me was to realize that it took a global pandemic for me to step back and recognize that I wasn't truly experiencing my life. I was just going through the motions. It was during this time that we were essentially sent home that I was left with a lot of time on my hand. And so, after a few weeks of watching videos on how to make drip coffee, I decided to make the radical decision to download the app that I had heard about for so long, TikTok. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? It's just an app. Wrong. Hi, my name is Niniva Garcia, and my strange addiction is watching TikToks. I'm just kidding. That's a topic for another day. TikTok wasn't like anything that I had ever experienced before. Much like how the diversity in our school introduced me to different perspectives and cultures, TikTok provided me with the space and videos where I could learn even more about the world around me while simultaneously being entertained. Among all of these videos that I spent countless hours watching, there was a certain type that began to catch my eye. The people making these videos would talk about romanticizing their life. And the general idea behind these videos is finding the small things about your day that filled you with joy and then cherishing them. I found these videos to fill me with a sense of peace and even inspiration. You see, what I realized is that these types of videos set up the narrative that life itself is an adventure, and therefore there is some beauty in every aspect of our lives. I think this is extremely important in times when our days might seem endless, or when it feels like the things and people we love the most have been taken away from us. But most importantly, I think these videos help people to realize that it is up to them to decide how they perceive their lives to be. As cliche as it may seem, if we do not make the conscious decision to truly experience life, no matter how trivial our days may seem, we end up missing out on a valuable part of the human experience. Life just passes us by. For many of us, this past year has felt like a fever dream at times. Time already goes by so fast, but the pandemic only made this year feel as though it went by faster. It is surreal to know that we are already embarking on our next journey. But I truly believe that if we do not at least try to shift our perspective on our lives, then we will never be able to truly enjoy whatever path life takes us on. We will fail to see that our personal adventures not because we are going to college, trade school, or work, but because we are determined to experience life to the fullest. Now, before I go, I would like to end with a quote from one of my favorite books, On House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. It reads as follows: "You will always be Esperanza. You will always be Mango Street. You can't erase what you know. You can't forget who you are." And so, class of 2021, I leave you with this thought. COVID in 2020 will forever be a part of us, of our past. Nothing can change that. But I ask you, what will you choose to be defined by? A moment of darkness or a world of opportunity? Thank you.